Hello, Gemini. Welcome to October 2018. We get the Eight of Pentacles coming out straight out of the gate, which is all about work, work, work. I know you guys have a lot going on, and I suspect you're feeling quite ambitious at this time, which is excellent. So whatever ideas you've had throughout the course of the year, maybe you've been a little bit ambivalent about really getting them done. Oops, sorry about that. Now is going to be a time where you're going to have the opportunity to really do that, and you're going to have the energy and the wherewithal to accomplish the things that you've really set out to accomplish. You may feel that there's a snowball effect kind of happening, and maybe at one point you took on a little too much, and I'm wondering if there's not going to be a point where some of that stuff comes back and you're like, oh my gosh, holy cow, what am I doing? How did I, this is all great. Turn off my volume on everything here. This is all great, but now I got to do all of it, and hopefully you're not feeling too overwhelmed. The name of the game is just hunker down, stay focused, keep things organized as much as possible, right? This is a Virgo quality, which is not a surprise. It's about the little details, right? Dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and think about things before you act. Double check things, reread things, write things down, come back later. It's going to help you to attain a higher level of quality of your work, or a higher quality of your goal, whatever that is. So let's see what else comes out. That's a great energy to start with. We get the Devil. Okay, well, I'm not really surprised. It's kind of, our chickens are coming home to roost, right? We've got the Venus retrograde in Scorpio, which we all know. And yes, relationships are on the docket. We are likely going to be tested with our limits, It's really important that we don't ignore the Devil energy, though, you guys. See, I kind of feel like your back's turned on this energy a little bit. Sometimes we can hide in our work. Very common for people to do that. But it's not in your best interest at this time. It's so critical that we face this stuff, right? This can be something just as simple as a negative thought that just keeps coming back into your mind. Perhaps you're feeling a little insecure, and maybe that's not even well-founded, and you're like, where the heck is this coming from? Why am I feeling like this? Or this could be something much bigger. It could be a really stressful relationship that you're having, right? Or a bad business partnership that's gone kind of sour, or a client project that's gone a little bit awry. Testing our limits. We are being forced to really push through. And again, the day-to-day aspect here really is going to do you a lot of favors in that regard. So let's see what else comes out here. People aren't going to be able to really wiggle out of stuff this month. That's not really an option. It really is in your best interest to be honest and true, and to say, this is what I want, and to have feel no shame for that, right? Or to not feel I know that we often, especially because you guys are so nice, right? I feel like we often won't say things because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. And it's not really the time for that right now. People's feelings are just probably going to get hurt a little bit, okay? Now, this could be your energy. It could be the energy of someone else, very connected to you. Queen of Pentacles, again, it's a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo quality coming out. Day to day, putting your head down, nurturing your projects, nurturing the creativity within you, nurturing all the things that you're wanting to do, and getting everything done. See, now she's looking toward the Devil here, okay? But also kind of not really. Yeah, there's an acknowledgement there, but she's really looking down here. This cannot be ignored. The more you ignore it, or the more other people ignore it, the more it's just gonna stank, and it does. It gets sour and it gets to the point where it weighs heavily on us, and then we get anxiety and it can get worse, So it's so important that you just attack it head on and just say like, hey, look, to whoever's involved, like, hey, look, this is something that's not going to fly anymore. I'm not happy with this particular thing. And then you will have to, embrace the consequences of that. Okay, yeah, here you are. This is a Gemini energy for sure. So we got these two. I love this for two reasons, because the Knight of Swords is very focused. He knows what he wants, but there is the harsh, or the brashness rather, the hasty decision making. It's just like, okay, this is what I want, boom, and then you just go for it, and then there's not really a lot of consideration for other things. So that's why I was saying in the beginning to like take things out of your mind, write them down, visit them a couple days later, just to be sure. If you write something down on Monday and then on Saturday you come back and reread what you wrote and you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense, that's really what I want to do, then by all means go for it. But because of this energy, sometimes we can, feel like we want something, but that's more of a reaction to something, and it's not really what our heart really wants. It's not really what's in our own best interest. So take the time to do that self-introspection and to do that analysis in terms of the true motivation, because sometimes a Knight of Wands can be motivated just by the timing, right? Just like, oh, now's the time, boom, and then they just go. But that's maybe not the best really reason to do that. Yes, look, I know you guys have so many great things going on in terms of creativity and in terms of just your... See, I'm losing my words here. It's super weird with you guys. I have such a weird connection with Gemini. It's such a foreign energy to me. And I've got my Chiron in Gemini, and right now we've got the Sun opposing Chiron, so that might be a thing too. But the Ace of Wands is not only, there's a sexual element here too, which I want to, put out there. Some of you guys may have kind of an added sex drive. We've got Mars moving forward in Aquarius, fellow air sign, I'm sorry. And so that might be a thing for you, feeling a little bit amorous. Now, there's other implications to that as well. There's self-expression that comes with this. There's higher level of understanding. There's new endeavors, new locations. Some people may be moving. It's a full gamut of things. But ultimately, wands represent things that we really, truly want and our desires as well. So, there's lots of positive stuff going on. That's why this is it's easy to probably put that on the back seat. And you can just kind of shove it under the rug and be like, we'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that another time. Oh, and then we get the Seven of Swords, which can be one, self-sabotage, right? You can be self-sabotaging by not addressing this, pretending like this doesn't exist. Or it can be someone else that you're dealing with too. Maybe there's someone who's involved with this. This isn't you, but they're trying to do something kind of shady. Maybe they're keeping secrets. Maybe they're trying to do something a little bit underhanded, which isn't fair. And the fact that this is kind of your foundational energy here tells me that you're not as firmly planted as perhaps you might think you are. Now, I don't necessarily, maybe it's it's weird. I don't really see this person as like a shady person. So I don't really know who's who here. We'll have to clarify this one for sure in the comprehensive, and why you're kind of like feeling so, motivated to either be with them or to talk to them, to hear from them or whatever. Maybe someone's really ignoring you. This kind of seems like an ignoring cycle. You're turning your back on this, they're turning their back on you. I don't know, some weird stuff. Weird stuff is in the air right now. Not only the Venus retrograde, but the Sun Chiron opposition. That always makes things a little bit strange, Chiron brings out our wounding, right? Chiron brings out that part in us that needs to heal. And so when we have that wound exposed, we are then more prone to making mistakes, either to avoid the pain or to try to hurry up and get through it. But more than anything, what we need is time. Okay, we got a lot here. So what is going on romantically for you guys? Hopefully, I say romantically because a lot of people here are for romance, right? But there's a friendship component, there's business partnerships, clients, all of that. Two of Cups reverse suggests some kind of a breakdown in communication. It suggests that you guys aren't on the same page. And what did I just say? I mean, clearly you guys aren't on the same page. Clearly there's some disruption going on. There is something that it's like this tension, I feel. You are wanting different things, perhaps. Perhaps one person is more methodical, and I'm hesitating because I'm trying to like feel this out, because I'm getting a lot of conflicting emotions right now. I'm sensing a lot of anxiety right now. Like, are you guys facing some really big changes in your life? Are you guys like really looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, dude, something's got to change. Something really, really needs to be something else. And I got to make changes in a really big way. Perhaps some of you are grasping at someone, not necessarily because there's like any level of desperation, but maybe this person is bringing stuff out in you. That's usually, a lot of times, that's what draws us into people, especially if this is someone who is involved with the devil situation. We're drawn to these people because they bring certain things out in us. And it can be disorienting. And it can be like we want something and we don't want something all at the same time. And again, because you are Gemini, the twins, the duality, in a way, it's a comfortable feeling. But right now, I don't think it's comfortable, which I think is weird for you too. It's like you should be comfortable, you should be okay with this, but you're not. I know you have a lot of work stuff going on. So I'm wondering if a lot of you are just, only just working, really being productive, which is great. But in so doing, you are in turn running away from bigger things. And your productivity won't go unrewarded, by the way. Page of Pentacles is always an offering of some kind. Look, you've got two beautiful cards of offering. Someone wants to talk to you. Maybe this person kind of reaches out or gives you some kind of a thing or something. You have to be careful of your manifestation power right now, because the Magician's coming out upright, which tells me that your manifestation power is really, really hot. Okay? So pay attention to your thoughts. Seven of Swords can be cyclical thought patterns. Our fears and our doubts tend to run amok. And it is those very fears and doubts that cause us to not push forward. They are illusionary. They do not really exist. It is how we have manufactured our own reality. So if you are manifesting fear and doubt, then what you're going to get is no progress and no success that then in turn confirm your insecurities. It's very precarious energy right now. It's very finicky. So you have to be conscious of what you're thinking on a day-to-day basis. You have to be conscious of what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, right? The mundane, day-to-day actions are so critical. Venus retrograde, man. Like it's a no joke kind of transit, just like the Mars retrograde. Mars retrograde really threw us all in kind of for like, some of us, it was kind of different, right? Some of us were so restless and so anxious and we didn't really know what to do with ourselves. And then others of us were just completely lazy, right? And just didn't do anything. It was kind of two ends of the spectrum. And then now we have this Venus thing where we're like, okay, well, now we have the power of Mars and we have the charge and the essence of Mars, again, going through a fellow air sign Aquarius. But now we're really focused on like the feminine stuff or the more material stuff. We're now, too, because Venus is associated with Libra, and I see this as a Libran energy here, she's about justice as well, and making sure that things are fair, making sure that, karma is served, so to speak. Now, she's not, really associated with karma, but justice is. And so there does seem to be something coming up for that. So if you're sitting there thinking negative thoughts and you're sitting there just kind of shooting yourself in the foot, then more quickly than you could think or that you could really imagine, you're just going to have more reinforcements of why those insecurities are in fact true, when in fact they actually are not. And they seem to be pretty dark, pretty dense. Like I said, the devil situation can be something as simple as a negative thought, can be something, where someone brings out something in you that you don't like. It surfaces that wounding. It is the karma kind of thing. It can make things feel like they take a long time to really settle, we always say time heals all. Well, Saturn is the keeper of time, and he can really slow down time a lot, and so if we can't face it head on, we can carry out these situations for really long periods of time. So it is important for us to be honest with what we want, make sure that's what we want, and then act accordingly, even if that means hurting someone that we love, hurting someone's feelings. That'll all be temporary anyway. If you have to hurt someone's feelings, it'll be temporary. They'll get over it. Yeah, I mean, these go hand in hand together. This is a battle that you can't win. You are trying to be elevated, as we see here with the Chariot card. You are on this course. And here's the Magician that says, okay, well, you can either go to the upper world or you can go to the underworld. Which one do you really want to hang out in? Now, neither one is bad, okay? It just is. It's your own duality, and you get that. But you might as well focus on the light. You might as well focus on love and compassion toward yourself and toward other people. You might as well focus on your success. You might as well focus on the things that you find valuable within yourself rather than the things that you're afraid of. Because if you focus on the things that you're afraid of, you're going to find yourself right back at where you started. This is an opportunity for us to have a blank slate. Okay? For us to get to our true core essence. And if we don't do that, it's just going to be a harder go in the upcoming year as Saturn comes in contact with Pluto in Capricorn. This is preparing us for that energy right now. We are being prepared. So we need to clear the air with people. We need to say things. We need to get it done. There's like a timestamp on this stuff, guys. There is a little bit of pressure. Now, some of you, you're going to wait until November, and that's fine. When Venus goes direct and things are going to just start moving a little bit more smoothly, then we're out of retrograde season for the most part, and things just start kind of going more, and that's perfectly fine. Just pay attention to what's going on right now. You are on an amazing road. But you have to steer yourself there, right? Because these can go a little unruly sometimes. And, your head can go one way and your heart can go another. And you can be torn in different places. And so if you don't have a really good handle on the reins, you can feel like you're getting torn apart later on. Okay? And you got to find a way to really set yourself free from that. Let go of those negative thoughts. Let go of those insecurities. Let go of that person, or that jealousy or that whatever it is that you're harboring. Let that go, because look, the universe really wants to give you amazing stuff. You've created this. It's okay, take credit for this. My God, like you created this stuff for yourself. So by all means, bask in the abundance that you're creating for yourself. And here we have the High Priestess, which is all about the knowing, right? The knowing of what needs to be done, the knowing of what's right. Okay, there's a lot to clarify in the comprehensive. We'll start probably with the devil. We'll make our way into the Seven of Swords. We'll definitely touch on this one and this one as well. And then we'll kind of fill in the gaps there. I'll probably focus on you too, just kind of getting an idea of what's going on there and why the kind of hasty energy. So I hope to see you guys there. If you don't go, do the comprehensive, that's fine. But just take this one thing away with you. Just know that now is your chance to live in truth. And you should take it. Okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with that. I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you so much. Take care.